Forward bends a little bit, we want to try to keep the hips level. There's two different schools about this, but I'm on the level hip school. So I like the hips to stay even and the twist to come mostly from the thoracic. It's all around good. Yeah, it does.
Wow.
And then she stays too.
And the right bum doesn't sneak back or anything there?
Not there, no.
And I felt it in my hips.
Yeah.
I felt it totally in my hips. Like, I never feel that in my hips. They never really transferred the stretch down there, but that did it. And I'm guessing that's because my hip sneaks out.
Maybe, yeah, you take the stretch away by letting the hip
by letting the hip go out, I let the hip, the stretch suit away.
And if you start thinking about the way the poses are all built and stacked, almost always our hips are in one line. So, the technique we always use here is to come forward, right? Like that, through the knee, and the hip starts to move, which that's not so bad. I mean, it's not a ton of movement. But ideally, it's not a big deal for me. She's not doing it a lot. But ideally, I think we want to still keep this line across. But this tip is okay. But if I want to get the length here, I can do that same opening in the thoracic again, which is pretty neat. And this hip doesn't have to come down, but it does feel good when it drops.
It feels much better when it does.
Yeah, and I think you get that actually through pushing into your right foot.
Yes, you do.
That looks beautiful.
It's a nice pose.
It feels really good.
That's not me, that's her. It was good when she went in.
No, but that hip lifting is that even in like Johnny Shirtasa,
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
And so that's what you're saying is...
Yeah, I'm saying that everything, I think, is built on Samastitihi and Dandasana. It's not an original thought, but that we're trying to hold on to that line of the hips in all these different postures. Well, when I did Janushasana for so long, I was like, what am I doing in this pose? Like, it's a resting pose. There's nothing going on.
I can feel it. Like, even as you're doing that and grounding down that hip, I realize I usually let it lift, and I'm not grounding. I mean, I feel it a lot.
And so now you go into external rotation to get into the posture. But then I think now the work is to slightly internally rotate it by activating the left foot on the floor and getting the inside of the hip to start working. So this left hip bone starts to come forward. For all of our forward bends, we should be tilting from here, from the hips, right? We start to get this beautiful stretch right here in the outside of the hip around the glute and the piriformis. That's it. And then you can also really work bandhas here. So, Uriana bandha.
It changes the lines dramatically.
Yes.
Well, I
like this line here, because the back straight, whereas when people do this line here, and then they go for the foot, you probably can't see it from there, but you get this torquing in the spine.
It's not the same straight line.
Yes.
It took it right out of my hips, too.
Yeah.
It took it completely out of my hips.
Yeah.
So how does this relate to leg behind the head? Because it does, doesn't it? Because that's exactly...
I think it's all the same thing. So
if we're going leg behind the head, right, or Akapatashasana, so a lot of times we'll move that hip out to get the leg back there.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is kind of what we're doing.
Yeah. But then it's got to come forward again.
It's got to come forward.
Yeah, it's got to come forward. And then when we're folding, we should be doing the same forward bend action that we're doing in the other poses, which is from the hips, right? So the top of the pelvis is coming forward, and we're rolling forward on the sit bones. So we should come forward. You don't want to round here now in the lower back. You want to roll from there. And in a way, it's like a much deeper version of Shirtasa.
That's exactly, again, what I feel like.
And so that makes sense to me then, okay, what's Janu Shirtasa for, right? It's preparing our hips for lotus first. And what's lotus? This is a much deeper version of lotus. Same action. In a way,
What's interesting is the clarity of the line that you drew in the corrected form of Janu, the one that you prefer, is the same line that you see in the leg behind the head.
Yeah, that's right.
That's quite nice.
And then I think even if you do Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, so put your left leg in the half lotus. it should be the same here, right? There's no reason that should be any different. It should be that same line that we're finding in the back of the hip. And it should be the same action of forward bending. So you're rolling on the bottom of the pelvis, on the sits bone, the ischial rest.
That's
Sorry, is that okay?
no, that was good. I mean, that's where you don't know where you're sneaking out of it.
Yeah. It should be that same line, you know, but again, we kind of distort or whatever to get into it, which is fine, but eventually we got to get back into that even line.
So these all relate to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine. I think it seems to be like it's all in first and intermediate, and then it's just carried deeper in different combinations.
Just gets more complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard.
For the tie that binds, because you're mine, I walk the line.